Okay, I'm going to do a review on the Revv G3 distortion pedal. It's really a preamp pedal. You're supposed to use it on a clean channel. I've experimented a lot trying to get it to play well on my crunch channels, and I just can't get it to be at something that I like the way it sounds without being way too noisy and doing too much feedback. These are the settings that I pretty much like, but I will be changing them quite a bit during this video, just because I don't truly love this pedal. However, I've only ever played it through the amplifier. Now, hearing it on the playback just when I was jamming, warming up for this video, I actually liked it a lot more than I have before, and I truthfully prefer it as a recording pedal. So I don't think I'd use this live. I would use it for recording at home for alternate takes because it's a drastically different sounding pedal than what I have. And I think it's a really good chunky rhythm pedal, but it does have enough gain. It is a high gain pedal, but it does have enough gain to be used for high speed lead. Like I'll just show you quick. You know, and you really have to play with the volume knob, because otherwise if you have too much volume, it'll start squealing like crazy. This pedal, if you want to use it live or part of your rig, you must have a gate. Now, when I do these videos, I try not to really use a noise suppressor or a gate, because I want you to have the natural sound of the pedal and the amplifier. This one really needs a gate. Though in the 5150 video, it has a gate built in, so I used it. Plus, that pedal is noisy without the gate on. This one's okay at the settings I have it on. But if I turn the volume up, it'll start feeding back almost immediately. But this, it's fine. So what I'll start with is doing some full chords, then I'll do some riffs, do some power chords, do some leads, and then I'll switch over to the RG2228. Okay? So for full chords, these settings. That's with the aggression set to red. Now I'll set it to flat, and notice how much quieter that is than that. Now it's set to blue. I'll do it flat just for consistency. With the flat setting, it has the least noise. I can turn up the treble and the mids, and then you start to hear something, but at that setting that I had before, it's quite quiet. Go back to red. So now I'll do a couple riffs. I'll play around on the low 8 string. Okay, so for me personally, so for open full chords, I like the flat in the off position for the aggression. For riffs, I like red and blue. I think I preferred the red, but you decide for yourself. I actually really am starting to enjoy this through the headphones more than I enjoy it through in the room sound. In the room sound, I don't like it. The one other method to use this, I'm just going right in the clean channel. The other method to use this is to go into the return or the effects loop, and that lets it really live how it should be working. However, then I can't really use the other channels so well, and if you're just running a power amp and this, okay. And if you get the new green G2, you get the G3 and have the G4, then you pretty much have a 3-channel amp with a power amp. But then you're paying the price of a tube amp, at least a cheap one, because these are about 300 Canadian after tax. I think they're still $279 in the States, but because they're made here in Canada, we don't have the extra costs. But I don't know. For me, something like this is a backup. So you take it to a gig in case your main rig fails, your tubes break or shatter in the van. And then you have this. You run it through a DI, and then you're good. You gotta trust the sound guy, but it's better than being like, oh, I can't play because my amp broke. And then some guys might be like, okay, yeah, I'll share my amp. And then other guys will be like, no, why don't you have some sort of backup? You know, it's 2019. $300 backup. The 5150, this, and the G4, they're great pedals. This one's way smaller, way lighter than the 5150. and they're both light. It's just this one's like extra light. This is lighter than a Boss pedal, and it has a lot of power. Okay, so I'm going to switch to doing power chords for an 80s type deal. I'll start with the red mode, and I'll switch between the three modes. Okay, so I really like how it sounds on the red and the blue. However, the flat can be good. If you're using a different guitar or something that's really noisy, you might want to switch to that flat off position for the aggression. Yeah, for me, these are the settings. Anything else, like I might take out some of the mids sometimes, but then you get a really scoopy sound. I don't know. Here, let's back the mids off, and I'll do similar stuff. No, that makes the low end flub for that. Let's see how it sounds for those power chords. Yeah, it's very flat. Like, it sounds good. It's just I feel it's missing the meat. On the red mode with the mids backed off, it's okay. think for that, if you're doing some double tracking, that would be, you know, you have the different settings and you have it on left and right, then that would be good. For me, if it was only just this, I'd probably keep the mids up. So I'll do some shred lead and we'll see how it sounds. Yeah, I don't like the flat. I'm going to switch guitars real quick and I'll show you how it sounds. The demo with the RG will be a 2228 will be a little shorter. Alright. So instantly, even on the flat setting, noisier. Alright, I'll do some riffs. For now, quickly I'll do some 80s power chords, starting with the red channel. If they do an updated like deluxe version of this, it'd be great if they had a little wider and a push pot for on off, and another one to switch between these, because a little switch plus an LED for those would be great. Just because if you're on stage and you want to switch the slight style of sounds, because there is a noticeable difference between the three, especially the flat and the red. The blue and the red, there's noticeable too, but it's not as huge as the off position, which is flat. A second button with LEDs, preferably with different colored lights, like a red, a blue, and an off. But that would increase the price. But you know, people are already paying a lot for these. Right, so I'll do some 80s style power chords for a minute or two, and then I'll do the closing leads. Flat. And blue. Alright, now I'll quickly do some leads as my camera's about to run out of space. Alright, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this gives you an informed choice on whether or not to get this pedal. I know I don't really tweak the settings too much, like crazy, but there's a lot going on. It's just me doing these. I don't have a team. I really liked how Ola England's videos sounded, but then when I got the pedal home, it didn't sound anything like it through his rig. like it did through mine. And yeah, check out as many of these videos as possible, and if you can, try it out in a store, because when I got it I hated it. Now I like it more now that I'm recording with it. I would use it more. But yeah, go to a store, try it out, and make an informed decision. Hopefully my video will steer you to getting it if you like it, and steer you away if you don't. But definitely try one out for yourself if you can. Alright? Please like and subscribe. Share if you feel like it. Thank you. Goodbye.